Radical.
So here's an update on the BMW. I haven't taken it out for a test drive, but I'm thinking about a lot of the things that I noticed about it. He started it for me, and it seemed like there was a faint sound from the engine. I don't know if it was a knock, but it was something. It was something, and there was a little bit of a delay between the time he, turned the ignition and the car turned on. Also, there's little things. Of course, like I said, there's a little bit of damage on the front right. The antenna is broken for some reason, and that looks like it's one of the back window antennas. That'd be kind of a pain to find a new one. Maybe, maybe not. It's missing a radio, and his stuff is littered inside of it. He's got so much stuff in the trunk. So I'm thinking of this nightmare to really kind of get the car cleaned out. I'm not crazy about green, so I of course would go get a paint job. It's not one of those deals where you could just kind of like give it a nice wax or something. I think I'd probably, I'd need a new paint job on it. Because what's the point of having a nice looking BMW if you don't have a nice paint job on it? Also, I don't know about the tires. Tires might not be that great. Just seems a little fishy for $1,000. And I didn't ask about if it had a clean title. It being wrecked, it might actually have a salvage title. I'm not sure. So if that's the case, then it's completely done. I don't think I'm going to go for it. I'll be nice to the guy because the TV deal stayed. He didn't wiggle out of the TV deal. So I'll be nice to him if he asks about it. I'll just be like, oh man, I got so many things to spend on around the house. Maybe later, I'll get in contact with you. Heck, he has a nice silver BMW for $2,900, but I don't know. And somebody mentioned in the comment section, since he's a mechanic, he could actually switch parts around. So it might be one of those deals where he's Frankenstein the car. I don't know if he would do that, but hey, I really don't know the guy. So maybe he's Frankenstein the car and swapped out some bad parts in there, or some ones that aren't as good as some other parts. I don't know. But I'm not going to go with that. But I'll tell you what I did go with, and what I'm very happy with a week later, and it's my TV. I got my TV at Best Buy. It's not one of the reasons I went to Best Buy, but I had this card that had a couple bucks on it, like credit, I think. I got a return on, I think, a power supply for my computer, and something happened, and I got credited a little bit on a card. I've had the card for a while, maybe like 2 years. And I thought, okay, well, this will knock a little bit off of it. Also, Best Buy has a lot of open box deals. And I was thinking, might find something in the open box. It's not the first place I went, though. I went in there, completely open mind. I knew I had an idea. I wanted something between, 65, 70. Didn't really want to go 60 because I had a 55, so I want to go, at least 65. But then I go in there, I'm looking at all the TVs, and I meet a really nice person in there named Sean. Very helpful guy and everything. 2 people that were pretty helpful. Well, the second person not as helpful. Very nice, though. I go from left to right looking at all the TVs. I look at the Sonys, the Samsungs, the Vizios. I look at the Spectres, the Emersons. No, I'm just kidding. Those are shit TVs, by the way. Stay away from anything that's Emerson or Spectre. I know I'm going to have a lot of people angry in the comment section going like, Spectre is the best, you son of a bitch! But, so as far as brands goes, I had a general idea. I was going to aim for a Sony, a Samsung, an LG. Those were my top 3 I wanted to kind of look for. Possibly maybe a TCL, because I've heard good things about TCL. Possibly a Vizio. It just depends on if the price was right, But I tell you, I wasn't really happy with this one Vizio I saw. There was one Vizio on top of an LG, and I looked at both of them, and something just seemed off about the Vizio. I don't know what it was. I think the Vizio was maybe a 70-inch screen, I want to say. Something seemed really off about it. And Sean's talking to me about all these technical terms, and believe me, I'm not the guy that knows a lot of technical terms about TVs. There's certain things I look at, which is, well, I look at the picture and I play around with the settings. I always ask for the remote so I can play around with the settings. And I look at like black levels. I look at the color. I look if there's any color bleed. I look at the sharpness and contrast. Some TVs just, have a nicer contrast. I even look at the actual, the actual, see, I'm not even going to try to go in that technical term. I look the TV up and down. I look at the inputs, like it's got to have at least 3 HDMI. My 55 had 2, and I kept, I kept wishing that there was a third HDMI. As far as the other inputs, not as big as a deal, but I got to have those 3 HDMIs. The sound is not that big of a deal to me because I'd always like hook up a sound bar to it. I know some people go crazy and they want like a TV that has the best sound. Well, I talked to Sean, I looked around, I got his input, I looked at some of the OLEDs, and the only OLEDs I looked at were Sony's. I might have seen some LG's, but they were gorgeous. They were beautiful and super thin, the ones I looked at. I didn't want to spend, like around $2,000 or whatever on a TV because I kept thinking, I don't know. I could buy a used BMW for $1,000. No, actually, I wasn't thinking that. I know I'd be happy with those OLEDs, but I was like, not right now. Maybe later, maybe Christmas time. I'm not sure. So I had an idea of what I wanted, and I looked around. The Vizio, it was a good price. It was a 70, I think, for maybe 800 and change. Not too much over 800. But I kept thinking, 70. I don't know. Might be a little too big. Because believe it or not, I'm a crazy motherfucker. I like to multitask with a TV. Same TV I'll use to watch cable, to play Xbox, and yes, as a computer screen. So I thought, okay, 70-inch computer screen, that's a little bit too much. A little bit too much. So I thought 65. I will definitely go with the 65. See, I've kept y'all in anticipation. You're waiting. Well, I went with the Insignia. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't go with the Insignia. I didn't go with any of the TVs on display. I looked around. I asked him questions. I said, do you have any open box deals? And I found me an open box deal. I got me. Shit. I don't have the box with me. I don't have the model number. Tell you what, I'll leave the model number and a link to a TV down below. I got me a, not an OLED, but a regular 4K 65-inch LG. And Tim Ferrari called it, actually, somehow. He mentioned that he had this TV. And the way he worded it was weird. He was like, good choice on the TV, man. So I think Tim Ferrari is actually psychic. Or he can read minds. Maybe he's like Professor X. I'm not sure. Maybe he's a mutant. But yeah, he called it. He hit the nail on the head. Now, the disadvantages was they didn't have this particular TV on display. No, wait. I think they did. But I'm not sure. Maybe they did. I can't remember. It just seems like they didn't have this particular one on display. But I thought it was a little over 600 for 65. And, I just thought, I'll go with this, that one. And the guy tells me a story that a guy brought it back because I wanted to know, like, why was it brought back? Tells me a story about the guy bringing it back, that his wife was really mad that he bought it without her approval, or that she didn't come and get it with him. Then I think to myself after I leave, this was a TV bought specifically for the Super Bowl. And I realize what time it is. It's a couple weeks after the Super Bowl. And there's a lot of open box deals. Sure enough, I noticed a lot of other TVs there. But nothing as big as the 65 that was open box. There was maybe some 55s. There was a 60. Nothing as big as the 65. So I got that one, purchased it, and there was another guy that came by. He was kind of a smart aleck. Like I mentioned some other TVs. I mentioned that I once got a Dynex TV from there, and he kind of scoffed, nah, man, Dynex, And I was like, no, actually, the Dynex, it was kind of like Insignia, the store brand. But I said, that Dynex lasted. Well, I sold it, so I guess it still lasted. Weird thing is, sometimes you get a TV and it's a cheap brand, and there was an issue with the Dynex when it turned on and off. It was a little bit of a delay. But I tell you, I got so many compliments on that TV. It was a 37 Dynex, and people were like, "That picture is freaking amazing." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a really cheap TV." So, yeah, that was a long time ago. 37? Nah, I'm doubling up, motherfucker. I got a 65. Big baller. So some of you in the comment section are gonna be like, well, you ain't shit, man. I got an 80. I got an 80. And I'm like, okay, well, I got an 85. I don't even know how big. Somebody leave in the comment section, commercially, what the biggest TV you can actually buy is. I'm curious. So I borrowed a friend's truck. And I brought the TV out and everything. I thought to myself, it's kind of dark. I'm looking around who might be like eyeing the TV, because they give you the rolly cart. And if I would have thought, I would have actually probably had somebody come out with me, or Sean come out with me. But I said, nah, man, you helped me enough. I'm taking it out. I was parked a good bit away from the Best Buy. So, I'm all casual, I'm pushing the TV out like I don't have a highly expensive TV on a dolly cart. I'm just chilling, just, looking around like, okay, nobody's around. Okay. I put it in the back of the truck, and I rushed that cart back up there. I rush it back up there. I think I kind of just like, I pushed it, quickly, the minute those doors opened. So it just looked like no one's pushing the cart. And, they're probably looking at like, what is this motherfucker doing, And then I sprint back to the truck. I sprint back to that bitch. I'm like, okay, I ain't making no stops. I'm taking this right home. I'm not even like driving slow past anything, taking this right home. And I'm really happy. I'm really lucky that it, didn't rain that day. So it's one thing I made sure to check to make sure there was zero possibility for it to rain. Because I get this idea that, I'm taking it home and it's, going to drown and rain on the back of it. Because the truck didn't have a camper shell on it. So yeah, I get it home. This would be like an hour long. I'm just going to compress this a little bit. Fuck, I don't know if there'll be a part three. Okay, I get it home, and making room for it is it's pretty simple, because my setup. I don't wall mount it. I'm not going to wall mount it. I actually, I don't have a conventional stand. I have it on two long. Have you ever seen those like old style big home theater boxes? Okay. And I apologize if I'm snipping. I have a little bit of a cold. It's, not cocaine or anything like that. Two long size bookshelf boxes. I painted those black. I flipped them over, and the 55 was actually across that right there. Let me give you a rant. This is not a rant, but just something that pisses me the fuck off. Okay. And I know when they do this. Okay. Used to be, remember, TVs, even huge TVs, used to have that stand in the middle. In the middle. Now it's on the corners. You know why? Now you can't just put your TV on anything. Used to be able to put your TV on freaking anything. Like a round dinner table you could put your TV on. No. A dresser you could put your TV on. Now you got to get the long ass TV stand. Not me. Fuck that. No. I wasn't even gonna let him ask me, like, what are you putting this on? Do you need a stand? Do you need a $300 TV stand for your $600 TV? I'm like, no. Now I got two old bookshelf speaker boxes that I painted black. So that's all I need. This thing. So how do I feel about this TV? A TV I bought on February the 14th, Valentine's Day. Well, the minute I got it home and turned it on, I started singing Casey and JoJo songs. All my life, I've waited for a TV like this. Night and day from my 1080p LG. Night and day. I noticed right away YouTube videos look different, images look different. I don't like the art style of One Piece. I think it looks kind of shitty. The hard lines. I don't like it. But One Piece looked amazing on this TV. Oh, and gaming. I haven't even scratched the surface. I haven't played a whole lot of games in the week that I got this TV. I played Dead Rising 3 earlier, and it looks like a completely different fucking game. Completely different. It's like I'm re-experiencing Dead Rising 3. So I'm playing it and I played it a lot. But to be honest, I'm kind of bored with it because I've had it for years now. But that's the power of this television. Things I saw before, I'm seeing completely different now. Little details in things. I just can't imagine watching movies on this. Believe it or not, I haven't watched a movie on this one yet. I haven't had time to watch a movie. I've seen YouTube videos. So you want the technical aspects. I'm not the guy to ask for tech, okay? When it comes to TV, I know a little bit, but as far as like the technical aspects and the contrast ratio and then this or the color separation, I can't tell you. I can tell you that the blacks look very black. The blackest of black, the blackest of night. Okay? The colors look very vibrant, very colorful. Okay? The sharpness, the contrast. The whites look very white. I don't know. I don't know what you want to know. I'm telling you right now, you will fall in fucking love with this picture. Okay? Unless you got an OLED or something, or something really, really super fancy, I don't see how you can't look at this TV and just be like, damn! That's what I was like. I didn't want to go to sleep that first night that I had it. I didn't want to go to sleep. I just kept wanting to watch it. Even dull stuff, even stuff on Netflix, even stuff like The Ranch and, I mean, Frasier's a really good show, but Frasier's not going to show you like the highest quality. Animation, I'm telling you, animation looks fucking stellar, I bet I could watch Teen Titans Go on this TV and it would, it'd still be fucking terrible. I'd turn the volume down. I still might enjoy it. No, it'd still be fucking terrible. But that's the power of this TV. It could make things that are just kind of like, meh, amazing. It turns meh into amazing. I don't know. LG, if you're watching, I will be your shill for this TV. Actually, no. I'm still not going to do that. I'm not a shill for the TV. You don't got to pay me, actually. You ain't got to pay me a dime, motherfuckers. I've already sold. How many TVs have I sold right now? I've sold probably at least 2 or 3. Yeah, I'd do that for free. But if this TV poops out, if this craps out, there will be a wrath. There will be a wrath. But yeah, good brand, great picture. I got it at a great deal. One little minor gripe with it. One minor gripe, and I could go in detail with this. Here's what I'll do. If anyone asks things about the TV in the comment section, anything I didn't answer here, I'll tell you about it. And if anybody wants to know, I'll give you my custom settings, to really make this TV pop. One thing that bugs me about it though, also was a problem with the last LG, is when I had an Xbox and my computer hooked up to the HDMIs, did this weird thing to where it wouldn't recognize the inputs. If you get this TV and it does it to you, or maybe it's just a problem with LG TVs, I'm not sure. But if it doesn't recognize the input and it says no signal, here's what you got to do. Okay, first you got to unplug the LG power cord. Okay, leave it unplugged for, series of seconds. Plug it back, unplug the HDMIs, plug the power cord back in, turn the TV on, and then put in the inputs. I don't know why LG TVs do this. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not just LG. But if you don't know that, then you'd have an issue. I also had some issues with my photo editing program. But I'm not going to get into computer issues right now. Maybe a separate time. Um, if you have a Lenovo desktop, uh, I got some tips and tricks for getting around some of those errors that you tend to get with Lenovo desktops, or at least I do. A couple of you asked about my surround sound. I indeed got a surround sound for 50 fucking bucks. It's not anything fancy, but this surround sound completely destroys, as far as sound quality, it destroys the LG SH2 that I sold with the 55-inch to that guy Al. This is, where's that box? Where's that box? Okay, so this is an RCA. I can't find the fucking model number. I will take a picture of it and show you a picture of it. So I'll show you the box at least. I don't think this is anything currently that they have in stores right now. It says 2016. So it's older. So a lot of you are like, oh, you got a $50 surround sound system. Well, it's not a new surround sound system. But this thing, just like the TV, I have never heard, and I haven't had any really fancy surround sound systems. Never had anything fancy. I'm not going to say to you like, this RCA is the best surround sound system you can get. It's the best one you can get for 50 fucking bucks. This thing has 3 HDMIs. It's 1,000 watts. I'm sure it's not really 1,000 watts. I can lift it and feel it's really light, so I'm sure it's not 1,000. It's got a nice subwoofer. I haven't even cranked this thing all the way up, but at a small fraction of its volume, it completely destroys the other surround sound system, the SH2. So yeah, here's what I recommend as far as if you want to get yourself a $50 surround sound system. You actually can't, probably. Like I said, this is just something I just kind of stumbled upon. You know, guy had a lot of stuff in his truck that he was looking to sell. Maybe he just got burned on a lot of these. Maybe he, sometimes people will buy things in bulk, and then if they can't sell them, they'll give you a discount on it. Yeah, so that's my Radical Rick tip. Be looking around the neighborhood for shady people that have trucks full of electronics. Never can go wrong there. Yeah, couldn't be happier with the TV. Couldn't be happy with the surround sound system. A shockingly good surround sound system for the low price of 50 bucks. I made out really good for around 700 bucks. Made out really good. One side note, make sure to try to stay away from RCA TVs. I've heard bad things, heard lots of bad things. And RCA sound bars. I paid $160 for an RCA soundbar, and the sub part of it was okay. But, man, the treble was fucking non-existent. Your speakers and your television probably sound better than the soundbar of RCA. Yeah. I hope this was helpful. And any of you have any questions, if any of you have any questions, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Section down below.